Hello, Rex.
Who are you?
No, we've met before. Quite a number of times, actually. In fact, after our last go, you discovered my plan and then traveled through time yourself to stop the legends from coming here.
They said I disappeared.
Not disappeared. No. Erased from the timeline. Like this.
Rex? 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 Rex?
Time traveler.
Rex?
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around Multiverse with your host, the man who pretended to be another man but was really the man in the first place, Carl Charles. It'll make sense in a minute.
Yeah. I'm the man who is the future version of himself, come back to fight the past version of himself because I was a diversion timeline version of that self. See my joke?
And today we are going to be discussing the Reverse Flash?
Well, the reverse flashes, live action versions, because we'll do the comic book version another time. But what we're saying is, as long as they have a comic book equivalent, we'll count the live action versions as reverse flashes. Yes. So,
but
Godspeed doesn't count, right?
Huh? Sorry?
So Godspeed doesn't count.
No, he's a different character completely. Yeah.
I mean, he's Godspeed in the comics, but there's no Godspeed is not a reverse flash of anyone.
No.
Yeah.
Or a rival, shall we say? Yeah.
Yes, exactly that too.
Yeah, but before that, I'd just like to remind you all to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. It helps us get the podcast out there. And yeah, let's get started, baby.
So you both. Okay, so when Eddie Thorne making an appearance, by the way, were you like, okay, this is
gonna be Reverse Flash?
Yeah. I think it was the red herring, right?
Yeah.
To make everyone who knew the comics know.
Yeah. Because I thought, that's how they're going to do it. They're not going to introduce weird time travel malarkey. But
I was thinking, okay, Eddie is there from the past already. And he's already infiltrated wherever, right?
Yeah.
That's why I thought, but he came across such a nice guy, right? That you're like, is there more to him? Is he just hiding?
Yeah.
And he's evil scumbag underneath or something like that?
Yeah, like, where's the turn going to happen?
Yeah. I'm kind of glad they didn't, because it would have been completely inconsistent with his character, though.
Yeah. So when he did die, it was quite sad. Like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, which, okay, as much as the Reverse Flash's timeline does not make any sense, even in the comics, right?
Yeah.
So Eddie shot himself to stop his future time, the descendants reaching the point where in the 25th century, Umar Thorne would exist, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't make sense because Umar Thorne is already out of time.
Yeah.
Adjusting time around him. So stopping him from it. I mean, look how many people must have killed, right? That didn't die at that time when he wasn't around in the timeline in the 20th century to begin with. 21st century, you know?
Yeah.
In fact, when Barry asks Green Arrow, and what's his name? Not Deathstorm, the other one, Firestorm, to help him fight Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Reverse Flash is beating Green Arrow up and saying, "Yeah, in the original timeline, you lived to be 80, but I'm gonna have to end your life now," right?
Yeah.
But then it turns out that Oliver Queen didn't even live to 80.
No, he lived to like 37, 8, 9, something like that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is it doesn't? Their time is not consistent for these people, apparently.
But even in the comics, the timelines isn't consistent. So I was like, I buy this.
But in the comics, you could argue, right? You could argue Yuval Thorne, he's mucked up his own timeline so much. He's got time remnants of himself all over the place that have kind of inconsistent memories of him because when he goes back and changes something, that version, even though that current version does not retain the altered memories, there might be an altered memories version of you born somewhere that,
Yeah.
By the way, that's so convoluted. I gotta say, I'm actually entertained by it because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
but
it's
it
gone
doesn't.
beyond that point now.
Yeah, it's like I accept it and just be like, just do what you gotta do. Just do whatever, you know. You're never gonna make sense anyways.
Yeah. It's just mad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they kind of realised that now. But,
well, I have to say as well, I liked it, the version of you before portrayed here was kind of also almost kind of to that level where it's just like, I'll just menace Barry.
Yeah, for no
because
reason.
I for the lols for what
at
reason?
This point, that's what it is. It's like,
yeah,
why? Why are you so petty and bitter about something?
And then when he gets questioned about it the first time, we long rivals, you and I. You did something in your future, my past, but you did something. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure you went back and caused everything you were born, and then you're blaming Barry, just like your comic book counterpart.
He's such a menace.
I did like the two portrayals. Which of the actors that played the Reverse Flash, Tom Cavanagh and Matt Lensher, is that how you pronounce it?
I think so.
Which of those actors do you reckon plays the? Because I know here's the thing, right? They play kind of consistent, but kind of different as well.
Mm.
Because obviously they're two different people. They're not going to match each other's mannerisms, but they match the psychosis of the character. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Do you think they're kind of like relative to each other? Because they got, I mean, can't be like they go into. Imagine that you sit down, and you're like, okay, you play me and I play you, What do you do, you know?
I personally prefer the other guy you said,
Matt Lesher.
Yeah.
Why would that be?
I don't know, because Kavanaugh, I don't know. I like him as like Wells and the worst, but I don't know. Just as I kind of got tired of seeing him all the time as Reverse Flash, so it kind of.
I think partially as well, like you're saying, you're right, because Matt Lynch, he comes in and does it right, and he does it a bit hammy, right, a bit over the top, a bit like grandest supervillain, as his per character, right, and Kavanaugh does that as well, but it's just like Kavanaugh is flexible to do all these other things, right?
I just got bored of it, and I always pictured. Like, my perception of Eobard Thawne is like an unhinged psychopath. Yeah. Not like methodic and all that stuff. And Kavanaugh does it that way. I'm like, I don't really. Yeah,
because like you say, he had to be like, all right, I'm gonna go and kill Harrison Wells, and then pretend to be Harrison Wells for like 10, 20 years, whatever it is. 15 years was it? Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
And then when Barry finally gets his powers.
Yeah.
And then Wells is like. It's pretending to be in the wheelchair and stuff like that.
Yeah,
he's more calculated, but we want a bombastic version. Right?
Yeah,
because that's kind of where he's at.
And I prefer that.
That's me personally. But then Kavanaugh's been super bombastic like later on. Okay, so Reverse Flash is in quite a lot of. Okay, are you finding Reverse Flash just kind of not necessarily suffocates the seasons of the Flash? But he is in quite a lot of as the main villain behind quite a lot of the Flash seasons.
Yes, he does. It's like, come on now, move on. Oh, he's back. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
I get it. He's good, but come on now, it's a bit.
Yeah. I don't think he first season. Yes, it made a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
A couple of other seasons later on is like, but there was Cicada, right?
Yeah.
And I know that. Okay, Harrison Wells did not need to be the master behind the master, right?
Yeah.
But. It's just like he took over everything at the last couple of episodes where it became all about him.
Yeah.
It's just like, we didn't kind of need to do that ish. Yes. I don't like you saying. I don't mind him coming back making casual appearances, but he's like what the main villain behind the what? So 9 seasons of the Flash, right?
Yeah.
And he's at least half of the seasons. He's
yeah,
the
at
main...
least like 4 of the 9.
Yeah,
He's involved in it in some way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you would you say he's the main threat at the end of some like 4 of the 9 as well?
Some of them, it's like, oh, and then sometimes it feels a bit like, oh, out of nowhere, and it was him all along. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, just not that. Like, I mean, when he makes the appearance, and look, he's entertaining when he does stuff. Yeah, so it's enjoyable to do that, right? And his trollish behavior as well, because you kind of accept that all he does is come back to be petty to Barry for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right? No, for his own personal reasons. Like the first season had still a bit of mystery about him. Why'd you come back and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Why are you doing what you do? And he just wanted to go home, really, right?
Yeah.
But then he just gave all that up to be petty. He's like, no, I'm just gonna be outwarded to Barry just because I can, right?
Okay.
I mean, because Barry not embarrassed him or whatever, right? But just like made him dead, but not.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
That's like,
no. Is it because he knows that Barry at some point will kill him in the future? But that's the last version of Thorn. So really, yeah, that craziness. Yeah. What do you think of his costume?
I don't mind it.
Well, let's see. I want to see the season 1 costume, but you know the yellow that goes into the black.
Yeah, at first I thought it was kind of cheap and silly, but I get it. I'm okay with it. I don't like it. I don't hate it. It's just to me at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it looks. I get where they're going, right? Bright yellow might have worked at that point, right?
Yeah.
So the black was just to add a bit of a extra edge to the character.
Yeah.
I suppose, right?
I suppose, yeah.
Even them tweets where he's wearing the Nazi version of the costume in Crisis on Earth X.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. It was just tweets where it had the double lightning symbol on it, like the SS, and I was like, okay, smart, right?
Yeah.
Like that. But I do have to say that the most current version. Well, I say the most current version, but the all yellow version. The all yellow version. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Even though it's like, okay, I have to say I like it because not only does it's like the Flash's costume is more similar to what it is in the comic book version, but the all yellow version of Yubel Form's costume is also comics accurate, but also loud, right?
Yeah.
Loud and over the top and in your face, right? And that's what at that point Yubel Form is.
Yeah.
It's like his costume evolved to match him.
That's what. Yeah. He's such a douche.
Yeah. What did you? But he also wore that black costume, that funny black costume from when he absorbed all the forces.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
I don't think that fit him. I
forgot.
It looked like it was too short on the neck for Kavanagh.
I totally forgot. I can't remember
because it was too tight on his face.
Yeah.
I did. I thought that was a bit weird. Looking costume.
I totally forgot about it. I don't know how I did. I just like, oh yeah, okay.
Because he was a ham. He was a proper hammer towards the end of that. I'll destroy you, Passion. I've absorbed all the forces. I mean, it's this costume which kind of like is a bit. It's black, but it's kind of got I don't know, so skull rib cage bits and stuff like that to it. And you're like, right, you're in a bright yellow costume before, and all of a sudden you're in this black death-like looking costume, yeah? Because you think you're bad man's, right? And it's like, okay, I'm not. I mean, all right, if you say so. I have to say it is a proper try-hard costume for a character who is trying too hard.
Yeah,
and I'm like, actually, he's perfect. It looks a bit clunky because I think it's too tight in his face, right?
Yeah.
But as far as the character is concerned, I expect him to make something like this costume because at this point he's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely no, I'm all power and Cardo. I'm going to be the death of you, Barry Allen, and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
It kind of reminds me of the Reverse Flash costume when Daniel West in the New 52's costume.
Oh yeah.
I think that's kind of what it was going for.
I think they should have actually made probably the costume similar to that. Actually.
Yeah,
it probably would have made a bit more sense because it's like it's a red center where the Flash costume is. So you could do it yellow here, but what doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
And you have black sections coming out of that, like
Yeah.
spreading around, like black armor. Not necessarily black armor, but it's just like he's encased by it.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah. What did you think about? Okay, so Zoom. Yeah, Hunter Zolomon Zoom.
Hunter Zolomon. Oh, the guy who pretended to be Jay Garrett but wasn't Jay Garrett because he was. Yeah, that's what I was talking about at the beginning.
All right. I thought you were talking about Harrison Wells.
Oh no, that's just convolution, man.
Because he did pretend to be. He took over Harrison Wells' life, pretend to be Harrison Wells.
Yeah,
so.
for the long con.
Yeah.
I actually liked Zoom.
Right.
But then the reveal when he was Hunter Zolomon, I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, so did you like that? Did you mind or did you care that the fact they didn't call Reverse Flash Professor Zoom?
I prefer that because I can't deal. I don't like Professor Zoom. I just don't like it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think it made sense in this case if they knew the next villain was going to be Zoom anyways, then it get a bit confusing, right?
Yeah.
In the comics, obviously, I don't. Yeah, there's not a legitimate. I mean, he is a professor, kind of, right?
Yeah.
But why would you call yourself Professor Zoom?
Yeah, I never understood that. I was like, why are you?
Okay.
And
But,
then
yeah,
for me, it always kind of took away from Zoom. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
what's this? Because I knew more about Zoom than I did about Eobard Thawne when I got into comics. So to me, that kind of never sat right with me, even though I was very late. But
Did you mind that? Okay, so I accepted that Zoom's costume was going to be different.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously not going to be Reverse Flash.
Costume,
because that's what he has in the comics, right? Like, okay, fair enough. And what did you think of? See, I thought it was kind of lazy done the costume though, because it's like a deep dark. I want to say necessarily navy blue, but a really deep blue version of the Flash's costume.
Yeah.
I did like the face mask bit though, where it covered the exposed section, where where you see Flash.
Yeah.
And Tony Todd voiced it really well.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
Tony Todd's cadence is different to Teddy Sears' cadence.
Yeah.
And so when Tony Todd has to dub over Teddy Sears' actual face, you're like, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, okay.
This doesn't make a lick of sense. Yeah.
No, you speak differently, and I understand you can vibrate your throat, whatever. Right?
Yeah, your vocal cords or whatever to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no.
But yeah, he sounds menacing. That's what it was with with Zoom.
Yeah.
What did you think of the original here?
I didn't mind it because, like, if I'm trying, let me remember correctly, because this is season 2, and that was so long ago at this point.
Yeah.
He stole Jay Garrick's speed because he got addicted to speed, right? And that's why he became Zoom. Am I right?
Not quite. He was okay. So in the battle of the War of Americas or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So Zoom's dad, Hunter Solomon's dad, killed Hunter Solomon's mum. Yeah. I was gonna say his wife, but I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. His dad killed his mum, right?
Yeah.
And his dad, the terrors of war, whatever, right? He come back in the what would be used future as Zoom's Jay Garrick costume, right?
Yeah.
Came back in that, and basically started slapping down his wife, and then like the wife's like, "Oh, Hunter, get away!" And then the dad's like, "No," he grabs her and he goes, "No, you sit there and you watch this, right?" And he just basically watched his dad murder his mum.
Yeah.
And then he becomes a serial killer.
Oh, some sort of sense.
They kind of skipped to the in front of that because they flashback into his past.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then they set him up to get electrocuted in the electric chair, and then a lightning bolt hits him.
Oh, and that's how he becomes a speedster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're right. He was losing his powers.
Yeah.
And then he pretended to be Jay Garrick to get Team Flash to make him a cure.
Yeah, that's the one. Velocity 8 was Cell 9 or whatever. Yeah.
Which I mean, like, I want to say fair enough, but at the same time, I think there was a I think we were saying before how they had another character. What was it? Trajectory? What's the female one? The female speedster they had.
What, later on? Or
They have one, was it season 3?
I can't remember.
There was a girl that's taking V9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she started developing side effects from it, split personality, blah blah blah. Right?
Yeah.
So they could have had it where Zoom started taking V9 to the extreme, and then split in two and became Jay Garrick because it made more sense.
Yeah, that would make more sense. Yeah. But then,
because then you have the good half and the bad half, however you want to do it, yeah, whether it's cliche or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But how they did do it, oh yeah, I was raised in the world of Earth 2, and I was like so bored that I pretended to be a good guy, so I could give hope to the world, and then crush it by becoming a bad guy. Right? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I don't. Yeah.
Like,
unless you.
I get the payoff afterwards because they introduced Jay Garrett. Like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole bit was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, I was just like,
the long con.
I get if you pretend to be Jay Garrick and you infiltrated Star Labs or whatever, right, and saying I'm come to help you, and then you know what your enemies are doing, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. What did you think of the Jay Garrick, the Zoom, the Hunter's Ornament Jay Garrick costume?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like kind of modern, but not.
Yeah. I like the majority of it. It's the lightning bolt outline that they should have filled it with something like the yellow color or whatever, right? Because that lightning, that outline was not thick enough or colorful enough for you to see it anywhere. You know,
like I kind of maybe they probably did that because it wasn't really Jay Garrett, and people might have moaned that's why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Properly. That's the only like weird thing I can see behind them doing it the way they did.
Yeah. But I do like it. The silly thing is, okay, so Zoom made the time. First of all, it was quite a decent threat because he taught Barry, Jay Garrick, fake Jay Garrick, taught Barry how to throw lightning bolts, right? Yeah. So then Barry threw a lightning bolt at Zoom. Zoom, who just decided I'm going to front flip over it, grab the lightning bolt and throw it back at Barry. I'm like, what?
As
okay.
You do, you know. Well,
Yeah. All right, this Joker. He beat up Barry and basically broke Barry's back.
Yeah.
Kind of, and then zoomed him to the police station and said, "This is your hero." It was like Bane broke Batman's back. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna exactly that." Flashfall, all right?
Yeah. So weird.
I think at that point, like, because Barry couldn't run around, they had to make holograms of the Flash to be around Central C.
Yeah.
Or was that when?
Wait, is that then, or was that later on when the Flash went missing and he did that so people would think the Flash is still about?
Yeah. Where he got the Velocity 9. Yeah. Sorry, where Zoom beat him up again and stabbed him with the Velocity 9, right? Or the Cancer Serum, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then he lost his powers, and then he gained his powers back. Anyways. Yeah, so when they went to F2, and I did like some of that stuff, right?
Yeah, that's some jokes, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool stuff. What I didn't like was how Jay Garrick was still in Earth 1. Zoom was in Earth 2. Barry and Koa are coming back to Earth 1. They throw the thing to break the portal, whatever it is, so the Zoom can't chase after them. Jay Garrick's like, "Oh yeah, I'll throw it there," and then then as everyone's celebrating over, like far away from the portal, he just saunters over to the portal for some reason. Yeah, who knows exactly why, right? He's not like he's peeking in to make sure Zoom is not coming out and nothing. He's just like, "Oh yeah, you know what? Hey people, I'm just gonna stand here with my back towards the portal, right? Because it's not completely closed yet."
Yeah.
Oh, got shanked, and my body got pulled through the portal now, and it's closed, and no one can reach Earth 2. And then Zoom says, "Oh yes, this is a kind of a complication." Then he throws Jay Garrick's body on the floor, fake Jay Garrick's body.
Yeah.
And then he takes off his mask, and it is him all along.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. All right, how are they gonna work this out, right?" And then it turns out he killed his own time remnant of himself, and the only reason that time remnant decided to allowed himself to be killed by Zoom was because, oh, we're just going to terrorize these people one of us is going to live because they're going to make the velocity 9, and the original Zoom is going to be whatever. He's like, how do you confer with the time moment to say, yo, you're going to be the one that dies and I'm going to be the one that lives?
Yeah.
They make a lot of sense to me. It's just like it's like they did a shop reveal and then they're like, how are we going to do it the most simplest way? But simple is not the easiest.
They kind of did the same thing in is it Heroes in Crisis?
Yeah.
The Wally West thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of that was a hit job on my boy Wally. That's all I'm saying. That comic was.
Well, I didn't mind it because of what happens next. Like, okay, that kind of I get that now. Okay, but
yeah, but there was a lot of cleanup needed done.
Yeah, it's poorly executed, but yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind the idea of what they were doing, right? But then it just became a smear campaign. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. But people pretend it didn't happen, so hey.
Yeah. Yeah. So, did you? I know they introduced the time wraiths.
Yeah.
So when Zoom just mucking about with the time, like making too many time remnants or whatever, right? Whatever the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
Did you I know they set up the idea beforehand of the time remnants coming after the people that muck around with time, yeah?
Yeah.
And you both film Matt Lensher version.
Yeah.
Has been on the run from them for ages. The Legend of Tomorrow version. So he knew how to dodge and weave, right?
Yeah.
But Zoom, I don't know. Like, they came after him, they got him, and then he turned him into the Black Flash.
Oh yeah, he's Black Flash now, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. What did you see it coming? How did you think? Like, what were you thinking when you saw that? Because I was like,
I didn't see it coming. I was like, oh, okay, that's a cool, interesting plot twist. All right.
Yeah, and it kind of made sense because his costume was that dark colored that, and the time wraiths, like they look like Grim Reapers ish.
So it kind of makes sense.
It kind of molded and merged with him at the same time, and turned him into like a zombified version of the Flash with red lightning.
Yeah, because it makes more sense than the comic book version of the Black Flash, in my opinion. Where,
as far as it seems, right, there's the inverse. There's the Speed Force counter. I don't want to say counter agent, right? But I don't even say the inverse because the negative Speed Force is the inverse. But basically, there is. What do you want to call it? The end of the line for speedsters, and the Dark Flash is the one that catches them up for the time to go.
Yeah. Which makes sense, but doesn't make sense because I thought when they die, they go to the Speed Force and have like a great time there. But whatever. Sure.
So the Black Flash here, you're saying because it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Is it if I'm remembering correctly? These will chase the Black Flash will chase the speedsters that muck about time. He's not necessarily the ones that are going to die at any point, right?
Yeah. Like in the comics, that's what the Black Flash is for, isn't it? Yeah.
Here's just like now physical rather than time wraiths, it's a physical entity that chases. Well, no. Would you say it's people that muck around time that specifically Speed Force related because they don't really it doesn't really chase after the Legends of Tomorrow, which time jump everywhere.
I think it's just like you said, that muck around time speed wise. Yeah. Because they don't go after everyone, just them. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I see. Look, I like Zoom up to a certain point.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to say he got too powerful, right? But he was whooping Barry proper good. Yeah. And Barry had to make a time remnant of himself to destroy Zoom's evil plan, right? Run around the arc, I don't want to say the arc reactor, but the Crisis of Infinite Earth machine, even though it wasn't that one, right?
No, yeah.
The Zoom's multiverse murderer or mass murdering machine or whatever it is.
Yeah, something weird and stupid.
Yeah.
One thing, like I got over it in the end, was how they basically changed Zoom's powers. because rather than being time manipulation, it's.
I always
speed.
thought. Yeah, I don't. Okay, so you had season 1, and someone's got Speed Force powers, Reverse Flash, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, so they're gonna. When I heard Zoom was gonna be villain in season 2, I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna make it different, right? They're gonna be like, okay, so Barry's gonna find out it's not about speed at this point. It's the Flash is the Zoom is like a time manipulator kind of, right?
Yeah.
Turns out not. Obviously, he's just the Speed Force in F2.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but all right. I mean, that's not kind of Zoom, but I suppose.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah.
And then you hit season 3 where it's also a Speed Force villain. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know how. Did you ever watch Heroes?
Up to about I think season 3 or something, I gave up. When it got to the carnival bit, I gave up.
Okay, so that's season 5, I think. No, I don't know. I can't remember. All I know is that there was a blonde girl that had speed-based powers. Yep, she could run fast. And then there was this guy, the Japanese guy in season 1, who could manipulate time.
Yeah, Hero.
Yeah, so she was robbing his workplace for some reason, right? He works in the office, right?
Yeah.
And he slowed down time so he could catch up with her. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's kind of interesting. You know?
Yeah, but they never did it in the Flash. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was a bit like, oh, you know, it'd been neat because obviously, like Zoom as well, it'd made a lot more sense. Not a lot more sense. It would have been like, there's stuff that he can do and can't do.
Yeah.
Via time manipulation. That Flash will be able to do with the Speed Force.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, but he'll be faster, but not as flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, if you say so, do what happens.
Make it simple for people. Yeah, that's what it did.
Well, no, I don't think they necessarily. I mean, like okay, he comes from the Speed Force. I don't want to say it's made simple. It's just made like generic-ish.
Yeah.
So moving on to Savitar.
Yeah. Or Megatron. Yeah.
But okay. Now Savitar does have a. So far, okay. Reverse Flash is Barry's. Professor Zoom or Reverse Flash here is Barry's Reverse Flash. Okay, straightforward. Yeah, Barry Allen's. Zoom is Wally West's Reverse Flash. Not in the comic. I mean, not in the series, right? Not in the TV series, but in the
comics and stuff. Yeah.
Savitar is Max Mercury's equivalent of a Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Which we'll go into detail on that there, but he does. The Savitar does have an equivalent, except that it's not. This Savitar is just in Savitar in name, nothing else.
Yeah.
Have you read Dead Heat, by the way?
No. That's
Okay,
with the speed cult, innit?
Yeah. But yeah. Well, first of all, we'll move on because you haven't read it.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's not. No. It's not really relevant to the season 3 of the Flash. There's no. I mean, yes, he's got a speed cult in here, yeah, but it's not. There's nothing similar to the comics, not whatsoever. But it's just like, Savitar doesn't do what Savitar does here. So
if I remember correctly, is that the same season with Dr. Alchemy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Which, funny enough, so what's the guy who played Dr. Alchemy? The dude from Harry Potter. I forgot his name.
His name, but Malfoy and Harry Potter.
Yeah. They did a Flash. They did the episode where Barry runs into the future.
Yeah.
7 years in the future or something like that, right?
Mm.
And he's still on Team Flash. 7 years on the future, he's not on Team Flash. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But again, the timeline is liquid. It changes.
Yeah. When you first saw Savitar, what did you think? Or like you were saying, Megatron.
I liked it because it looked so weird and crazy. I was like, this makes so sense, and I love it. So
he's big and bulky, and it's just like, and he's like a Hulk version of the Flash running about. I
loved it. I don't know why. I just thought it was awesome.
But his Speed Force suit kind of reminded me of like Daniel West Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Because it's like made from, I don't want to say Speed Force metal, whatever.
But technically, yeah.
Yeah, whatever the hell it's made from, right? Could you tell, by the way, when they swapped between practical and CG suit?
Some of the times I could tell, yeah.
Yeah, because I think the CG ones, the lights didn't hit the same way, but obviously that's just due to how many episodes are gonna get out in a small amount of time. You can only do so much. So
Yeah.
I don't blame it. I'm just saying, like,
No, like
the fact that they made a practical one.
like the CG
Pretty cool.
for a TV show was pretty decent. If I was honest, like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could. It was
All
weird.
right. So as you have no comparison,
Mm.
right? I'll just give you the baseline of Savitar in the comics.
Okay.
Basically, he was kind of a test pilot-ish way back in, I want to say, the 40s, but around that time.
Yeah.
And it broke the sound barrier, and then it kind of just broke the speed barrier while he was in it, and that became this kind of speed personality thing. So he kind of kept us, and then he encountered Max Mercury, who is like, sometimes no, I'm the only one that can have this speed. So so he kind of, Max Mercury has been around since the 18th century. He kind of like runs into Speed Force accidentally sometimes and just skips to certain parts of the future.
Yeah.
Like 30, 40 years, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, I got to get rid of this Savitar guy.
Yeah.
So he kind of skipped him into the future.
Oh, that's always works out well. Yeah.
Yeah, because the cult was waiting for Savitar to come back after all this time, and and then they were like, oh yeah, he's like, our Lord and Master has come back, to then now he can be the true wield of the Speed Force, which only existed after Wally West became Flash.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about before, it's like, anyways,
Retcon.
as in name, that is, yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really have a past, Savitar. He doesn't really have, like, not necessarily character development for all that. He just is what he is, right?
Yeah.
So here, yeah. What did you think from Ground Zero? No, like through season 3, as you I don't want to say discovering that he was Barry Allen, but they shielding his identity.
What did I think of it? I like the mystery behind it.
Yeah.
And at first, I did think it was that dude, Malfloyd.
Yeah.
But then when he turned out to be Dr. Alchemy, I was like, oh, okay, so I wonder who this Savitar could be. Then I thought, okay, he might be someone on an evil version of someone from Team Flash.
Yeah.
Even though technically that is correct, but
yeah,
I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, okay, I could see why he would go insane. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, the thing is, they kept his identity covered till the 18th, around really late into season 3.
Yeah.
And I think that was like he got Killer Frost on his team or something like that.
Yeah.
And he stepped. She goes, "Why should I listen to you?"
Yeah.
And then he steps out of his armor, and then she's like, "Oh, I see, right?" And I was like, "Oh, blatantly someone from Team Flash, right?" And there's only one Speedster in Team Flash.
I didn't even think that. I just thought maybe the suit is for the speed. That's why I was like, okay, it can't be a. That's why I wasn't like, I could have. If it was like Cisco or someone, I would have bought it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it makes sense.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, as long as it wasn't U-Bolt Thorn, right?
Yeah. Again, like, oh, he's back. Okay, great.
But I was like, this is a bit weird because just like, okay, they discover that this time remnant of Barry Allen is Savitar, yeah?
Yeah.
And then they like, Savitar, we don't have to fight. No, come, we can accept you as part of Team Flash. And he just decides, yeah, okay, scarred up Barry Allen with his Two-Face. He's like, all right, I'll see how this works. And then he's like, what did they do to make him turn? I can't remember exactly what he did, but
doesn't he sacrifice himself for Iris or something like that?
Who fake Barry Allen?
Yeah.
I mean, time remnant Barry Allen.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. As far as storyline goes, right, and it's a bit weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Savitar was menacing the Flash.
Yeah.
Barry had to create time remnants to deal with Savitar, right? Because he obviously needed more help. Savitar killed Iris anyways. I don't know what happened to. I think Savitar killed most of the time remnants except for the one, right? And then this time remnant tried to. I don't want to say integrate into Team Flash, but be like, all right, so Flash is Barry's there. I'm here. We're both grieving over Iris, but you're treating him like he's the real Barry, and I'm the fake Barry, right? Even though you don't know which one's the real and which one's the fake, or you just label me, right? But that's not his logic. It's just like, he's somehow accepted he's the fake, like he's the Scarlet Spider.
Yeah.
All right. You know, realistically speaking, they splintered at the same time. Neither of them can have claimed to be the fake or the real. You know?
They're both.
But Team Flash ousted him for some reason at that point.
Oh.
And then he's like, all right, well, I also have to create this avatar to create my own existence and make a time loop. All right. I mean, okay, yeah, all right,
Sure.
all right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know about your logic, mate, but still.
Yeah. Give me a headache.
I did like how it took all the Flashes. Like they did that final battle with all the Flashes chasing after him as well. I think like Jesse Quick there, Jay Garrick,
Kid Flash,
Flash himself, Black Flash coming in there as well, just for to run interference.
Was Kid Flash still part of the team at this point?
I
can't remember.
Was he? I can't remember if he was there or wasn't there.
Or something happened.
It might have been. It might have been.
Yeah.
But because I do remember the final battle did have quite many Flash running about in it. But speaking of Kid Flash, we actually forgot one of the Reverse Flashes.
Did we?
The rival.
Was he in the? Was Rival in the Flash TV show?
Yeah, the rival in the Flash TV show. Yeah.
Why don't I remember this?
Oh, you probably will remember it once I explain. So, Flash at the end of season 2 create the Flashpoint, remember? And then Yubel Fawn is like, so Flash, you have me trapped in this containment, wherever it is in this warehouse here, yeah.
Yeah.
But you have erased you saved your mum, right? But look what you did to the world, right? Who's the villain now, Flash? And I was like, oh, you boy, yeah, you're great. You just rub it in his face because even if he wins, he loses.
Yeah.
Like, but the rival was in this. So Barry created the Flashpoint, and this is at the end of season 2, so that means it's a 3-month time script until the beginning of season 3.
Yeah.
Or however long it is, but it looks like it's 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And he's just been walking around at the altered Earth 1.
Yeah. trying
to hook up with Iris, but kind of not.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's kind of creepy, Barry, because she don't know you.
That's creepy,
Anyways.
my dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like that's obsession right there, kind of. Anyways, he does that, right? And then you get the Kid Flash, So the Flash of this universe is Kid Flash, Wally West, yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember now.
And then he's getting menaced by the rival Flash.
Yep. Right.
Who's only called the rival because he likes to shout to Kid Flash, "I have no rival." Like, all right, well,
loser. Yeah, I remember now. Because I'm looking at his costume, I remember him. Like, I remember this dude.
So you know what I have to say? Okay, right. So as far as his costume is concerned, it looks more demonic than Zoom's costume.
Yeah.
And it probably would have made more sense with that costume with Tony Todd's voice.
Mm-hmm.
So the rival in the comics is Jay Garrick's Reverse Flash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here he's Wally West's Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
He didn't do much though.
No.
Because he loved to exclaim that he had no rival. He did beat up Wally West Flash. But I think that's half because Wally West Flash is just a bit too cocky for his own good.
Yeah.
Shanked him once. I think then Barry kind of like dealt with him.
Yeah.
And then Barry had to reset he had to unkill his own mum. No, hold on. He had to unalive his own mum because he saved her. So yeah. He had to reset the time. He had to put the timeline back to fix Wally West's death.
Yeah.
Right. Who is not the Kid Flash at this point, but he's like obsessed with being Kid Flash because he's like, there's splinters of the altered Earth 1 Flashpoint in people's memories.
Yeah, and he remembers that he was Kid Flash, so he wants to be Kid Flash again.
Yeah. Because his girlfriend is Jessie Quick, yeah? And he's like, oh no, I could have speed powers too. Like, boy, you're at this point where you're trying to do to yourself is you can have the girl or you can have the powers, right?
Yeah.
You're choosing the powers.
Yeah.
Because the girl doesn't care whether you have powers or not.
No. If she cared, she wouldn't be with you.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing it to yourself, boy. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, I don't think it particularly did much. So when Barry reset the timeline, Dr. Alchemy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Savitar powered Dr. Alchemy, yeah? And then Dr. Alchemy used the Philosopher's Stone to alter some people to their Flashpoint timeline selves.
Yeah.
And then the rival came back to try and, take some vengeance upon the Flash, but, nothing much happens there.
Yeah. And then he dies later.
Yeah, well, the thing is, as far as he was concerned, he's a very short-lived character. Like, Zoom was a one-season villain, right? But he has presence in multiple other things because he's now the Black Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rival... Well, all right. I'm here for, about 3-4 episodes, and then I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because I did, like I said, I did think he has a cooler costume than not in the series, in the comics.
Yeah, I know Speedster. Yeah.
I mean, it's got no alternate equivalent to be a Reverse Flash, but I'm saying the way that the rival's costume looked, it feels called Speed Demon.
Made more sense.
Yeah. And not to say obviously the rival couldn't be the rival, right? Yeah. But if you had the Jay Garrick of Earth 2 or Earth 1, I mean. Even the Jay Garrick of Earth 3, where's his Reverse Flash, which could have been called the rival at that point, if you saved it.
Yeah, it could have, but I don't think they're really concerned about Earth 3. It's like a...
Well, I have to say as well, I don't think they're 100% concerned with continuity either. No. As in, when I say continuity, I mean to be in line with the comics. Don't be alterations all aside,
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of. Okay, now actually I was gonna say, speaking of Earth 3, who what's his name? The guy playing Flash, Jay Garrick.
What the
actor.
Wesley
Shipp, yep.
Yeah, there we go.
In his Flash series, he had the Reverse Flash.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, okay, he did and he didn't. Actually, okay, first of all, right, let me ask you, yeah?
Yep.
The Reverse Flash is just the reverse colors of the Flash costume, right?
Yeah.
Because the red is red, the red is yellow, the yellow is red, and the black is white, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that is legit reverse?
No.
Okay.
Like, costume-wise, yeah, but when you think back, when I hear Reverse Flash, you would think the reverse of the Flash, as in power-wise as well. So it'd be someone who's extremely slow. But
oh, you mean like the tail?
Yeah.
All right. No, okay. Oh, wait, yes. What I meant was, before we kind of derailed where I was going. So this version of the Reverse Flash, I believe it's called the Pollux, right?
Yeah.
And instead of having an enlightenment bolt, it was kind of like it's lineable, but not really, kind of a Silver Mercury kind of ish.
Yeah.
And he's inverted Flash because his costume is blue / purple-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I don't know how much reverse this Flash is to be a Reverse Flash, but he I wouldn't say, he's I can't remember the exact origins of it. He was played by John Wesley Shipp as well, so I do believe he was a clone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pollux.
A clone of a blue suit.
And
then he's like, oh no, I'm a clone of the Flash. I shall then, because I'm not the real Flash, just like we not the real, with the time remnants avatar, I will go and start throwing a hissy fit and start wrecking anything to do with the Flash. I'm like, all right. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Someone gets shot with a bullet and dies, but you know what I mean.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that. I was like, oh yeah, there is a Reverse Flash that's kind of from the 90s series as well, And like I said, would you say he's more of an inverted Flash, coloured costume wise?
Yeah, makes
because
sense.
he's actually blue and yeah. Was the turtle ever in the series?
I don't know yet. I was literally thinking, I don't know. Unless they adapted him to be someone else. Let me check that. While
Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah. So yeah. What would like as far as the reverse flashes go, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind that they, the speed thing where they kind of the reverse flash himself likes to use this, right?
Mm.
Where it's kind of blurry. Now, when Flash used it, when Barry Allen used it, just on his head, by the way, because the rest of the body didn't move like that, right?
Yeah.
It looked a bit weird. And what was weirder was when Wally used it, because you could see Wally's face.
Yeah.
And it's like skin tone and yellow just kind of shifted, right? When Reverse Flash used it, it shifts all over him. Like his entire body vibrates.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, it's out of sync with everything else. Fair enough. Even Zoom used that, like, had it on occasion.
Yeah. Okay, the turtle was not in the show.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, yeah. Would you say it's a shame that the turtle was in the show, or would you think like how are they going to use the turtle in a show like this?
I don't know. Cause wait. The turtle's suit, but it's not the turtle.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's weird. I don't know why they haven't used him. Because in the comics, he's quite a big thing, really, isn't he?
Well, it's kind of funny because when the Rogues are fighting the Flashes, sometimes they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna bring the turtle just to even the playing field." This guy who's like 100+ years old or whatever it was, you know, we're just gonna have him there just so he can slow down the Flashes somewhat by his mere presence.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
He's on paper, he's like a loser superhero villain, but like he's quite menacing and evil. From like what I've read recently, like, oh wow, this guy is pretty messed up. Wow.
Would you have okay, you're saying it's more logical for someone with slowed not time manipulation powers because you can speed and slow down time.
Yeah.
You're saying that a guy who's if you're going to be called a reverse Flash, you should be super slow.
Yeah, because like you think of the reverse of that, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's because of the word reverse, but I kind of get the reverse Flash being like the evil version of Flash, but then you can just call him evil Flash. You know what I mean? Like it makes more sense than.
Well, I mean, other than his costume being the colors being reversed around.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, but then you're calling that reverse Flash Professor Zoom, and you're calling the turtle a reverse Flash, even though he's not got Flash powers.
Yeah, it's all a mess. That's the best way to say it. It's all a mess.
What did you like it, by the way? When when U-Boat Thorn, Matt Leinster version, was in Legends of Tomorrow, creating and him and Damien Dark and the Dark Archer, Malcolm Merkin.
Yeah, Malcolm Merlin. Yes.
Became the Legion of Doom. Right?
Yeah,
I was like, the Legion only 3 people.
Hey man, yeah.
They didn't have what's his name, Captain Cold in it for like
a second.
2-3 episodes of Legion of Doom. I was like, well, first of all, it's not a Legion, right?
Yeah. Also, it was like time displaced Captain Cold. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I did like as well how he's like, I'm gonna get the Spear of Destiny. I'm gonna go murder you all. And then the Black Flash comes in and murders all of him.
Yeah.
Like the whole army of reverse Flashes, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Because man loves to muck about time, apparently.
Yeah, it just doesn't know when to stop. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but at that point, when he'd done that, he thought he had captured the reverse Flash.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he thought he'd locked him away, and he's like, "Oh, now I can just create as many versions of myself as possible as time remnants, and then and then he's like, oh,
and the world will be mine." Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't
Exactly, as Stone Cold would say.
Yeah.
What did you think when he made his reappearance in The Flash season 8?
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Like
I
how
thought
they
it
sort
kind
of did it. I was like, okay, that whole there's a timeline where he swapped himself out with Barry, and he's Barry, and Barry's him.
Oh no, okay. I was talking about later on, but actually, no. Sorry, I think I got my. No, I was talking about later in the season
Wait,
when he's the Matt Leinster version.
Oh yeah.
But I forgot about what you were saying. I forgot about but let's go with what you're saying first because it actually happens earlier.
Yeah.
And mine happens later. Go on.
Where he creates his own Flashpoint.
Yeah.
And he swaps himself. Thorne swapped himself with Barry.
Yeah.
And took his life basically. And
yeah, I know he took his life. He killed Barry when Barry was a baby or something like that.
Yeah, something dark. Something.
And then
dark
he's like, "What I'm gonna do is then take over every single part of your life." Even though he's like 20, 15 years older than Barry or whatever you want to say he is. He's clearly not Barry's age, right?
Yeah. So it makes everything else quite creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna say that he basically spied on Iris West
from a child until she's old enough.
Yeah. I think at this point, right? At this point, when I was reading about the Armageddon crossover, right? I was like, reverse black. Like here you are, Thorne. I mean, you were coming to this point anyways. By the time when Flash had to team up with you to kill Godspeed, and you started to betray him and stab Godspeed as well, right? You're heading in this direction all along, anyways, right?
Yeah.
So I accept what you're doing. Like, okay, so my evil master plan is I can't defeat him. I shall become him.
Yeah.
All right.
Such weird.
All your friends are now my friends, and you are the like So if Barry didn't exist, right? How did he make Barry exist? As a reverse Flash.
Yeah. How does that work?
Yeah, I do. I think he so according to, if I remember correctly, but probably not, right? He still is creating reverse Flash. He's Flash. He's also creating reverse Flash, because then he can frame Barry for being reverse Flash as well.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I don't get why Hunter Solomon's plan is convoluted, right? But I get why Hugh Ford's plan is convoluted, because this guy he's just a menace, right?
Yeah, he's a menace with too much time on his hands. It doesn't.
Menace just a menace. It's like nothing else but to torment Barry, because, like you said, he's yeah. What should I do with my time that I've had? Oh, I just think of other ways to make Barry's life miserable. That's it.
You're going out your way to make this guy sad. It makes you sad. I mean, like, why are you?
Yeah. You're not helping yourself.
No.
Right? The more you think about it, the sadder you're gonna get, right? And all you're thinking is, it's not. I can't be happy. I'm only happy when this guy's sad.
Yeah, it's like, dude, man, get a new hobby. Just
yeah. But yeah, I was like, all right. I don't get the logic, but I get the logic.
Yeah, because he's.
Oh dear.
He's a sort it out. He annoys me. Yeah.
But when later on, when Matt Lenshaw Thorne makes an appearance, and he's like working in one of the labs, and he's helping Mina. What's her name?
Yeah. I want to say Mina Patel was not, but yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
First of all, right? Yeah. It's because she's Indian. You said that, right?
No, but for some reason I think it is, but I'm probably wrong.
The thing is, the one.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. But you could have, you took a shot, right?
Yeah.
And you could have been 50% right.
Yeah. So I'm alright with that. Yeah.
So yeah, he's like, he's depowered, right? Or he's not using his powers? Because he's a time revenant and he knows the danger of using his powers, right?
Is that what it was? I thought he got his memory wiped somehow.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Like he has like the knowledge about making the time stuff, but he doesn't know that he's
Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did like the I want to say the reintroduction, but how they play it, it's like he doesn't need to be a ham all the time, and there's actually someone behind the guy, right?
Yeah.
The persona of the Reverse Flash, behind the bench, behind being consumed by
hatred and
pettiness,
whatever,
just genuinely to be out of order. It's pettiness, even, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, and the fact that he tries to help Barry as well. And I thought what was pretty cool was when he what weapon? He absorbed one of the forces. Well, it latched onto him, right?
Hmm.
And then he's in his Reverse Flash costume. He's like bending over, keeling over because he's in abdominal pain, right?
Yeah.
And he reaches for his head, and then Mina's like, "What are you doing?" He starts pulling his head apart, and she's like, "Ah!" Right? And then inside inside the Flesh Kent's head is the what's it called? The
Tom Cavanaugh,
Harrison Wells version of Reverse of U-Ball Thorn.
Yeah.
Full costume, right? Inside this guy's body somehow.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's not inside his body. It's more like he took it over or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? But it's just like, wow, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
He's like, and then Tom Cavanaugh's like, coming out of his body.
I was sitting there
and then what? So I think what it was, right, is meant to tear out of that other body, right? In the black and yellow Flash costume.
Yeah.
Reverse Flash costume, right? But when he steps out of it, he's in this full yellow, red Reverse Flash costume.
Yeah.
Just dropping bits of, I want to say, face onto the floor. And it's like, hold on a minute. Shouldn't you have basically torn the entire thing off? The entire outer shell.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
guess it's less disgusting that way. I don't know.
I don't know, because then you're thinking, because the camera's only on that bit where he tears out, and then when he's dropping the flesh face bits on the floor, right?
Yeah.
But like, where's the rest of the costume or whatever it is?
Yeah. It's not there.
Yeah. Camera trickery, that's what I gotta say about that.
Yeah, or keep the show PG sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like Was it? I don't think there's any other Reverse Flashes, right?
I don't think so. That's it, if I remember correctly.
Well, as far as this is concerned,
yeah.
You have. So Impulse was in this, right? Oh no, Impulse's Reverse Flash is Godspeed in here.
Not really.
Well, Impulse says that it's that Godspeed is his nemesis, right?
Yeah, but then doesn't Godspeed die technically before because of messy timeline and stuff? Isn't he dead before their future? I don't know.
The thing is, it's like Impulse. This Reverse Flash should be Inertia. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yep, as is literally his clone. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I know they're playing about with certain things, but yeah. So okay, Barry Allen has a legit Reverse Flash here.
Yeah.
He's U-Bolt on the Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Would you say fake Jay Garrick's Reverse Flash is Zoom? If you had to correlate them.
Yeah, I would have to correlate. I'd say yeah. Actually, yeah, he would be. Yeah.
Yeah, even though he's the same person, but as far as his reverse version, yeah.
Yeah.
Wally West was the rival.
Yeah.
Yeah. XS didn't have one.
No.
Yeah. Even though there is Lady Flash.
Wait, technically, isn't XS's Reverse Flash the Reverse Flash?
Also, was Godspeed, right? Because there was her first encounter was with Godspeed.
Yeah, but like I would say her Reverse Flash is Reverse Flash because of like how we tricked her to basically getting him released.
Yeah. But that's the thing is also she was also encountering but he ended up wiping out the timeline. That version of XS out of the timeline.
Yeah.
But yeah, she got her flash powers because, or she had to be got her excess identity because she had to deal with Godspeed, even though Godspeed wasn't the Godspeed that was Godspeed later on.
Yeah.
So impulses. So actual Jay Garrick does John Wasey ship Jay Garrick. Does he have a reverse flash? Unless you're going to count Godspeed kind of menacing him as well.
Maybe. Nah, I don't know. No, I wouldn't say it.
Okay, hold on. What counts as a reverse flash to you?
Like their main villain, like that's their own. That's the, like, how can I put it? Yeah, their main villain. Like, for example, it's not the same, but like people consider Batman's main villain the Joker, right?
Yeah.
That's how I would consider someone's reverse flash being their reverse flash. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they just simply say, "Oh, this person's my reverse flash," as I believe Impulse said, Godspeed is his main nemesis. You're like, kind of not really, but
yeah.
I mean, you're saying it, but is it because also, realistically speaking, we have not seen their feud evolve? Like,
yeah, if there was more to it, then I would buy it. But no.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Like, for example, like in Arrow, his main villain, realistically, was always Merlin. Really, innit?
Malcolm Merlin.
Yeah.
All right.
Because like all the others kind of like just came in to do their thing, but he has like long history with him, and like lots of his origin has something to do with him. So I would say that's technically his main.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
And I'll say basically, like Barry Allen's reverse flash is that because he killed his moms. You know, it's all that weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but then Zoom killed. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I mean, Zoom killed Flash's Barry Allen's dad, and Rival killed Wally West, his own Flash. So was he the most successful as far as the series is concerned?
Suppose.
Was the Rival the most successful Reverse Flash?
Yeah, kind of, until he gets wiped out of the. Well, it doesn't get wiped out of the timeline, but he. Okay. So, so you're saying we're not counting Godspeed? Nah.
Okay. All right. So we've got Zoom, we've got Reverse Flash, and we've got the Rival. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the most successful of them?
Only because he just kept on going and going and going. Probably gonna be in season 9 as well. Reverse Flash, Tom Cavanaugh. Yeah.
No. Hold on. But okay. No. What I mean is, as far as their win rate is.
Yeah.
No. I mean, what I'm saying is, like I said, the Rival actually killed his Reverse Flash, even though alternate timeline, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could argue that Reverse Flash is the least successful because every time he tries to kill Barry, he cannot.
Yeah, that's like just like in the comics, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But he's a next level maniac in the comics.
Yeah.
He cannot be stopped and he cannot be contained. It's just like.
Well, he has been stopped now, but you know.
Yeah. I find in the comics version of the Reverse Flash so amazing. And I have to say the live action is getting to the levels where it's just him all the time. Not necessarily hits him all the time, but you know, similar to comics where it's just like whatever, right? I'm here to do. It's me, whatever. Yeah. All the time,
I'm always
everywhere.
The villain behind everything, you know.
Yeah. But that's how much hatred. That's how much hatred you have for him, man. That you just be like, I'm gonna go back in time, yeah, and I'm gonna move the table. So next time he gets up, he's gonna stub his toe. That's why. That's how petty I am.
I pushed you down the stairs, Barry. All that stuff. Yeah.
But he didn't do that in the series.
Didn't he?
No, in the comics he did all that.
Yeah,
stuff,
I thought he did that in the series as well.
Yeah. No, I think he just went back and killed his mum.
Oh.
And then he kind of got severed from the Speed Force ish. I mean, his power started to fluctuate.
Yeah.
And he couldn't travel back into the future where his own time to live his own. See, what was good about season 1 version of U-Boat Fawn is just he wanted to get back into his own timeline. He's like, I lived X amount of years in this timeline, right? I just need the Flash to gain his power so I can connect to the Speed Force and actually just go back to where I belong, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say necessarily he became a more tragic character at the end there, yeah? But he was fully realized, yeah?
Yeah.
And then he's just like, Barry killed me. So I'm going to go and kill him and everything about him. In fact, I can't kill him because he creates Speed Force. I would just menace everything around him. I'm like, all right.
Sure.
But then, yeah. That you became less of a tragic character, yeah? And more of a psychopathic character.
Yeah, a hindrance on humanity. Yeah.
Yeah. But then at the same time, it's just like, the way he's just played is like, yeah, I'm here. I'm just gonna scenery chew and steal the show and be all sorts of craziness. And you're like, okay,
sure. Yeah.
I accept that you're just a wacky villain, kind of.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I don't want to say his threat level's always there, yeah, but he just means that his maniacalness is always going up with that sort of thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, each little step he gets more annoying and annoying. Yeah.
Well, he's like you said, he's got nothing to do other than to think of how he's going to hurt Barry more and more.
Yeah. Like, get a life, man.
Exactly.
Find a hobby.
Yeah, you know how it is with these crazy people.
Yeah, just nuts.
Yep. Okay, so I guess that wraps up this episode.
Yeah,
on the live action versions of the Reverse Flash.
Yeah, and Flash Rivals.
Yeah, because when we get to the comics versions of the yeah. Well, when we get to U-Ball Fawn in the comics, oh boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
And you think he's crazy now?
Yeah, he's the worst.
I tell you what's funny as well is like when people have no idea, or if you haven't watched the series and you're just hearing us speaking about it,
yeah.
As mad as it sounds, purely Reverse Flash / Professor Zoom,
yeah.
It'll get even more beyond that.
Yeah, because
in the comics.
Yeah, because even his animated version of him is hilarious as well. From like Flashpoint and
damn it, yeah.
Suicide
do you want to cover
Squad's...
that now, or do you want to cover that in the comics version?
Yeah, I'll cover the comics one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, I don't know how... Okay, I was going to say that might... Because between all the stuff and all the other Reverse Flashes...
Actually...
yeah. No, we'll tag on to the end of that, yeah?
Okay, cool. Because it's not that long, really, but yeah.
Okay, no, you go. You might as well take on here then, I guess.
Yeah, because he appears in 2 of the animated DC films. Justice League Flashpoint Paradox, as it's called, even though it's just Flashpoint, but whatever.
Yeah.
And
which is actually quite a decent one-to-one adaptation of the comics version of Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very in that even though realistically he gets painted as a bad guy, but he actually doesn't do anything bad.
Yeah.
It's actually because obviously Flashpoint is caused by Barry Allen, so you know, and Eobard and Fawn's just there to watch the world end, basically.
Well, realistically, he's there to just watch the chaos Barry's caused, and then start poking Barry with saying, "Look what you've done! You're the scumbag!"
Yep. You thought it was me, but no. The only bad thing I did was push you down the stairs as a kid and kill your mum. And it's like, okay, you are bad, but you didn't cause a world.
You didn't wipe out the timeline and cause the Amazon Atlantean War.
Yeah,
by the byproduct of saving your mother and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
You wasn't selfish to do that. You were just selfish to watch this, come back and watch this all happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the comics version, he got stabbed with a sword, right?
Yeah.
And he gets shot in the head.
Yep. You see the hole in the head as well. Yeah.
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 Which is significant because he reappears with a hole in the head later on.
Yeah.
in which was it?
Suicide Squad. I think it's called Suicide Squad Stairway to Heaven, I think it's called.
Or is it Hell to Pay? Is that one of them?
I think you might be right. Hell to Pay. Yeah. Yep.
So I haven't seen it, but you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's awesome. especially when the reveal of the Reverse Flash, you're like, oh, and then it's like, oh yes, connected to this. That's awesome.
Yeah. So give me the lowdown, just so I can hear it as a person who's not seen it, and I listen to the insanity.
So basically, they're trying to get this item that will bring you back to life, or give you not eternal life, but life. And the Suicide Squad keep getting close to succeeding, and something happens. They don't know where it is until the Reverse Flash like shows himself, and he goes, "Yeah, I basically died or in the Flashpoint, but because I'm a time revenant, I'm like half dead." And then you zooms out, and you see that a hole in his head. He goes, "Yeah, I'm basically vibrating myself to stay alive. And I need this coin or whatever it is so I can be alive and I can actually be a menace again." And I think he kills a couple of these Suicide Squad and beats them up to death. And Bronze Tiger's dying, and Deadshot gives him the coin so he can come back to life. And then Evolve was like, "Oh no, without that I can't live." And then I think he gets shot again, or they kill him. And
you know what would be even more awesome? If they try to shoot him in the head and he just went through that hole in his
not
head.
this time, yeah. You can't kill me twice the same time way, yeah. And then he gets. If I remember, I think he gets pulled to hell or something like that, yeah. And then that's it, and you don't see him again.
Right. So somehow my brain, with that hole in his head, not spitting out his brains whatsoever.
Yeah, something like that. It's something weird. I can't, because I haven't seen this in ages.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he's still alive.
Yeah.
But he hasn't got much time left.
Have you seen the meme using the Reverse Flash?
It was me all along, Barry. Yeah. Remember that time we did this? That was me. Yeah. Yeah.
Where he ruined Barry's
underwear. Yeah.
No. Yes, but no.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna go in that direction. I was gonna try and work my way around it. But yeah. I see.
That one's hilarious.
You know what? Now that you explained it in such a way that that begs explanation, you're gonna have to explain it.
No, I'm not gonna explain it. He somehow messed up Barry's underwear while Barry was still wearing it. Yeah, and
that sounds worse.
Well, it's the PG version. Yeah.
Oh my god! All right.
Because he could have scared him, and that's why he wet himself. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. All right, we'll leave that. We'll leave it at that because. Oh my! I did not expect. I mean, I was just gonna try and be as vague as possible, but you hit the nail on the head, except you didn't.
Yep. It's up to you to figure that one out. Yeah.
But when I saw Barry. When I saw that dub, I was like, "That's actually hilarious."
Yeah, I cried. I was like, "Wow, Yvonne, that shows how evil and messed up you are to do that." Nutcase. Oh.
Yeah. All right, so that's us bringing to this episode to a close. I am the man in the yellow seat, CY Chong.
And I am the petty time revenant who would just keep going and going and going until I guess I stop or grow bored, but I doubt that anytime soon.
Yeah, because the power of hatred.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say another thing, but it will kind of ruin the comic book one, so I didn't bother. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. That's us.
Yes.
Bringing this episode to a close.
Yes. Let us know if I'm pretty sure most of you lot watched The Flash. You probably gave up halfway through, but let us know who your favorite version technically of the Reverse Flash was. It cold calculated version by Tom Cavanaugh, or the unhinged version by the other guy?
Yeah.
Or do you even remember The Rival? Because I didn't. Yeah. Let us know. You could do that by.
Or Saboteur even. But,
or Saboteur, yeah.
I kind of
Megatron.
I don't. Yeah. I don't. He didn't do much either.
Nah, but he was better than Rival. let us know. You could do that by leaving a comment or leaving us a tweet or a message on Instagram. And if you got any suggestions, also you can let us know. See what we can do. And remember to share this with your friends. Give us a like, a subscribe, and check out all our social media links that is being below in the description. And also check out our link tree. Until next time, guys, I'd like to thank you for taking a trip with us back in time and then forward in time for another trip around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.
Caitlin told me about your talk. Something I want to know. Why did you create a reverse flashpoint, steal my life?
Why? It was the best way to hurt you.
Don't you have anything better to do than trying to destroy my life?
Destroying you is my life.
That still doesn't explain why.
Why? What?
What did I ever do to you?
Almost 2 centuries. From right now, we meet for the very first time. For my part, I finally discovered ways to possess speeds faster than anyone alive. And just as I was about to present myself to the world, you showed up. For some stupid case, dazzled the crowd. You were dazzling. And then you saved the crowd. A crowd that I was meant to save. A crowd that was meant to thank me. You saw my greatest moment. I admired you. And you humiliated me. And it was in that moment that I knew I had to get faster than you.
Only a sociopath would react to something so small with that kind of rage.
What you call rage, I call commitment.
So if you won't stop hating me, what happens once I save you?
I'll just go on with my life's work. Finding new ways to kill you.